Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. One important lesson that I learned from vegetarians is to cook vegetable medley. The more different kind of vegetable that you have in a dish, more likely you will find it interesting and delightful to eat. In this video, I'm going to show you how to cook a vegetable medley with 5 different kinds of vegetables. This makes the dish very interesting and you will find it very enjoyable to eat without the presence of any meat. I'm going to cook this dish in my Cucina 14-inch stainless steel wok by starting with 2 tablespoons of canola oil. I have already cooked other dishes in the wok, so I don't really need to season it at all. And besides, when you cook vegetable dishes, spot seasoning is not necessary because vegetables do not have a tendency to stick and burn to the surface of the wok. I cook an egg dish before I cook this dish, and this dish has a stronger flavor than the egg dish, so I don't need to wash the wok. As I have mentioned earlier, I'm going to use 5 different vegetables to cook this dish. The first vegetable I'm going to cook is the primary vegetable for this dish, and it is a baby bok choy. The baby bok choy is very easy to cook and they are easy to prep as shown here. I just cut the vegetable in half and cut them into smaller bite size, and then I wash them up before I store them in the refrigerator. If you have never tried baby bok choy, I suggest you that you give it a try because baby bok choy has become increasingly popular and it has appeared in many high-end restaurants as one of the menu items. Furthermore, baby bok choy is now available in many supermarkets. Another vegetable that I'm going to use this dish is also a Chinese vegetable that I frequently find in southern part of China. It's a vegetable known as gailan. Now this vegetable is very easy to cook and it's probably one of the most popular vegetable in southern part of China. And quite frequently this vegetable is used with oyster sauce, and it is a very famous dish. Now the reason that I combine these 2 vegetables together is because I have them in my advanced prepping. In fact, normally even in Chinese cooking, you never see them cooked together. And for me, there's no reason why you cannot cook them both together because they both add different texture and flavor to the dish. And in fact, it makes the vegetable dish more interesting when you have both of them in the same dish. But from the traditional standpoint, this dish has never been actually cooked in this particular way. So from a purist standpoint, they will say, why would you combine these 2 vegetables together? And my answer to this question is that, why not? In fact, these 2 vegetables are excellent when you cook them together, both for the purpose of convenience as well as for the purpose of flavor and texture. Both vegetables has very similar texture and they take about the same amount of time to cook to the texture that you want. In here, I cook them both at the same time, and I know by the end when I'm done with them, they will both achieve the perfect texture that I am looking for. I use a pair of tongs to mix them because it is easier to mix them together rather than use a wok spatula. As you can see, when you start with the cooking, there's a lot of content, and this is why it is important to have a large wok, such as a 14-inch wok. Just imagine if you use a 12-inch wok, there will be too much content for you to cook them all together. Now, as you see here, the leaves of the vegetable cook down very quickly. And once they are cooked down a bit more, I switch to the wok spatula because it's easier for me to stir them together. During the early phase when you cook this vegetable, you would like to have as little liquid as possible, and you want to have enough oil to coat the surface of the vegetable. Because the oil will raise the temperature of the vegetable ingredients in the wok to over 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And it is the temperature between 250 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit is the Maillard reaction takes place. Next, I'm going to add some portobello mushroom to the wok. As you can see here, I add them because of the sequential cooking technique. This is also then followed by adding some snow peas. Now, both of these ingredients, I would like to cook them only lightly because they taste better without overcooking them. And this is the approach in sequential cooking, is that you put the ingredients that you want to cook longer first and then you add the ingredients that you only want to cook them for a short period of time later so you will not overcook them. Now again, I want to emphasize one more time the importance of advanced prepping. Without advanced prepping, it is almost impossible for you to cook a dish with that many vegetable ingredients because it will take you a lot of time to prep them. And if you prep them just before you start cooking, the prepping itself will be too time consuming, and most of the time you would not want to do the prepping such as this. And now the dish is almost 80% done. I'm going to season this dish with some garlic pepper. I want to give this dish a strong garlicky flavor, and the garlic pepper actually does a really good job. Next, I start to add water to the wok. I'm going to add a little bit water at a time. This is time I'm going to steam the vegetables. Now, in some of the vegetable dish that you cook, you never have to steam them because just by stir frying them, you will make the texture to the way how you like it. But for vegetables that are more fiberish, as in this case, the baby bok choy and the gai lan, you want to steam them to achieve the texture that you want. And of course, different people have different preference what the texture of the vegetable is like. So you can always do a taste test and decide whether this is the texture that you are hoping for. One of the secrets in cooking a good vegetable medley dish is to be able to achieve the texture of all the ingredients in the dish to exactly that is best for your preference, as well as best representing the vegetable, because we all know when vegetables overcook, they tend to be mushy and they lose their flavor and texture. They become uninteresting. But if they are not cooking correctly, they will be too crunchy and you'll find them not pleasant to consume. So to be able to achieve optimum texture for all the ingredients in your vegetable medley turn out to be the most important key in successfully prepare a tasteful vegetable medley dish. So one thing I would like you to notice is that how much all the vegetable has cooked down. As you can see in the beginning, when we first start cooking the bok choy and the gai lan, the entire wok is almost completely filled with vegetables. And by now, the leaves are all cooked down. And it is the stem of the vegetable that gives the flavor to the dish. And if you like this kind of vegetables, and if you even have never tasted before, you will enjoy this texture. And there are many ways to flavor this vegetable dish. In this case, I'm going to add a small amount of oyster sauce, which is completely optional because the vegetable themselves has already wonderful flavor. I add the oyster sauce because my son likes food a little bit more saltier. Last but not the least, I'm going to add some just sliced bell pepper. Now the bell pepper only need to cook very lightly. That's why I add them way toward the end. In fact, you don't need to add the bell pepper at all, but it gives nice color to the dish. It makes the dish more interesting and have a great appearance. And just a few mix, the dish is done. Cooking such a vegetable medley dish is simple, straightforward, and quick, particularly if you have advanced prepping. Advanced prepping is truly the key to my fast cooking system, which stands for flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. When you combine these four attributes together, it will allow you to cook almost anything you want, usually in a matter of 5 or 6 minutes. And this will allow you to cook an entire meal with a number of dishes in less than 30 minutes. And in many ways, this serves as a viable alternative to fast and processed food. I love to and would like to answer any questions that you might have regarding the cooking and any questions that regarding about my fast cooking system. The reason that I normally do not answer to comments on my YouTube channel is because I do not know whether the person who asks questions will actually see the answers. Quite often, I will spend time to answer those questions, but I do not get any feedback. So if you would like to ask me questions, and I can assure you I will always reply your question if you would send me an email to wokwithtak@gmail.com. I continue to post a video every day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routines. If you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.